ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I'll tell you guys, I'm worried. I was up last night, and I had trouble getting to sleep last night because I was worried. You ever heard the old saying? People say, he's up all night worrying. Basically, that was me. And funny thing about worry is you can tell yourself not to worry. It's like, don't worry. Everything's going to tell yourself, oh, don't worry. Everything's going to be okay. But then you know yourself that you got good reason to be worried. Anyway, stock market's up today, big time. 68 points, 400 and whatever. It's lost all bearings with reality. Perhaps they're reading all those. Well, anyway, I don't know what's going through their mind today. I think we're going to see big things happen with the stock market, and I don't think it's going to be good. The stock market is so overbloated. First off, it's so overbloated, it's unbelievable. It's a risk-on environment right now. It doesn't make any sense, guys. What information are these guys getting that they put the information into the computer algorithm, and the computer algorithms that trade they trade based off the information that they're given. Anyway, so we see a risk-on environment right now. We see silver and gold prices remaining very suppressed. Cryptocurrencies holding up a little bit, but it's cooled off just a little bit. The Bitcoin price was getting up near 9,500, and now it's cooled back down to, what is it, 9,100 or something. Just let me take a quick look. 9,170. The Bitcoin price is cooled off to. Dow Jones is red hot now. U.S. Treasuries is probably one of the biggest stories of the day today. We see a movement of 8.7 basis points in the 7-year, 8.4 basis points on the 10-year. Up. Treasury yields are rising like mad. Now, if you guys remember my shows from a while ago, I talked about the U.S. Treasury, and I was saying that the U.S. Treasury, if it goes above 3.25%, we are in big trouble. Well, you know how quick the U.S. Treasury could move to 3.25 and beyond? If the world has some sort of a major crisis that basically come out of nowhere in the new year. We got good news out of the virus. On the virus front, countries like Canada, the United States, are seeing no real big increases in the amount of virus. So that's good news. How long that good news will last, I'm not sure. Let's hope it lasts. Bad news from China. Bad news in China. And the Chinese economy was ready to roll over anyway, China helped us out of the last crisis tremendously, the 2008 financial crisis, And they borrowed tremendous amounts of money, but there's a one-trick pony. They can't do that again. They built infrastructure programs. They built cities. Quite literally, they moved into farmers' fields, and they built high-rise apartments and stuff, and they didn't even have a road leading up to them. And they didn't even pave the field. They just built a high-rise. And then all these people come in and invested and bought apartments in these buildings that were not even finished. And they rise to the sky, and those apartments are still there, and they're priced in the millions. And nobody lives in them. They're just investments. A lot of ridiculous things happened after the 2008 financial crisis. till now. Ghost cities the size of Chicago, China built. Infrastructure programs that require a lot of things like copper and stuff like that. Drove the copper price up to infinity because they use that in wiring. All the electrical wires in your house are mostly all copper. They tried years ago to use aluminum. Doesn't work as good as copper. Copper's the big thing. But when these copper miners are digging in there, they get silver. Get a lot of silver. Well, that's where most of your silver, if you go and you buy silver, that's where most of your silver comes from. Doesn't come from the tooth fairy, guys. Well, here's the thing. If the world drops off a cliff, economically speaking, we will see these copper mines and stuff, just basically the copper prices get slaughtered to the point where they cannot make money. And so they won't get any silver either. That's where 70% of your silver comes from. Now, the thing is the reason why copper prices will drop like a stone, copper, zinc, lead, all these tin, all these different metals, the reason why these prices will drop like a stone is these are industrial metals. And if industry drops off to nothing, then they don't mine these metals, then they don't get any silver. But the uses for silver could explode in the amount of silver that people want, because bar and coin demand could absolutely go through the roof. So demand could go way up for silver, whereas demand for copper and things like copper, lead, zinc could just drop to nothing. But what will support silver demand is bar and coin demand, which could go way up, especially if there's even a hint out there, a hint on the air, just a hint that we're in some sort of a crisis and people want it for a safe haven asset. And there's even a hint out there, just a rumor, that there's not enough supply to meet demand. Then everybody will want it. Everybody and their dog will want some. And then if there starts to be none available, people see that, then they'll want it all the more. So that could be a nutty situation, failures to deliver all over the place. Silver, you could see your local coin shop, you go in to buy and they don't have any stock available for you. The only stock they might have available is numismatic value coins that are overpriced. Those might be the only ones on the shelf. Like a Morgan dollar that's like a Morgan silver dollar that's like $800, and nobody's buying it because it's got numismatic value. That might be the only thing available. Maybe not even that. They might even strip that off the shelf. And so we're moving into a crazy world, a crazy time. There's a lot to worry about. I mean, some of these articles out there say, this is just the flu. Well, use your reason and common sense. Would the Chinese cordon off 57 million people? Would they close whole cities? Would they build hospitals as fast as they can? Would the Chinese be doing all of this if this is just a flu? I think the big distinction between this and a flu is if you separate two classes of people that are under 40 and people that are over 40. That's where you see the distinction. If you, instead of taking a consensus of the general population and saying, well, I think that if you classify these into two groups and take a look at what this does between the over 40 group and the under 40 group, then you can see the difference between it and the flu. Anyway, you have to understand something. In order to stop a virus, you have to shut down economic activity. Okay? So you got a choice. You can shut down the virus, by stopping all activity, stopping movement. Economic activity relies on movement of people. If a store is going to remain open and going to make money, it's going to have people walking through it all day. You close the doors of the store, put a sign on the window that says no people in here, you're not going to have any economic activity, but you can prevent the flu from spreading, or the virus or whatever you've got from spreading. So you got a choice here. You can have vibrant economic activity, but with a virus like that, it's going to spread, and it'll shut down your system for you at a certain point. It'll shut down economic activity if it spreads. If you close everything down, you can shut down the virus and keep it from spreading, but you've destroyed economic activity. So either way, economic activity is going to suffer, and suffer hugely. So why are they rejoicing right now and pushing the stock market up over almost 500 points in one day? I just don't get it. I don't think it's going to last. I think it's going to be short-lived, and I think this stock market is going to turn around big time at a certain point in time. That's my opinion on it. And thank you guys for listening to my opinion. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. I appreciate my audience out there. You guys are really great. Keep giving me those thumbs up. And we'll catch you guys in the very next show. Probably a market report, probably tomorrow. Maybe tonight I'll get a little bit better night's sleep. Bye-bye, guys.